Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, scholars and dignitaries, welcome to another episode. Welcome to my world.
Hello, friends. So I have a question for you. We all know the power of our behaviors, how doing something either helpful or harmful can either, benefit someone or hurt them, either in an intentional, malicious way or even in an unintentional, residual way. Well, we also know the power of speech, how our words, how saying something good or bad can affect another person in either a positive or negative manner. So we have actions that can hurt and words that can hurt, even long term. But is it possible that thoughts can harm others as well? I mean, after all, they're only thoughts. They're hidden and no one can hear them. But is it possible that bad thoughts can actually influence others in a negative way? And secondly, is it possible that they can even rebound back on us and harm us as well? And to be honest, maybe without us even realizing it. Well, psychology has spoken about the power of thoughts and how thoughts determine feelings and drive behavior. But there is another whole perspective showing just how powerful that thoughts can be. Recently, a woman in the Midwest, we'll call her Joyce, died from an allergic reaction, anaphylactic shock. She was eventually revived, but she had a near-death experience and found herself standing before the Lord in judgment. Now, Joyce was a Christian woman who really never had what we would call a life of sin, drinking, drugging, adultery, and so on. No, she would be what you would call a normal Midwest housewife with mostly an uneventful life. Anyway, Joyce died and then found herself standing before the Lord. And sure enough, as so many others have testified, she saw a review of her life that was presented to her. And the one thing that stood out most for Joyce out of everything she did and everything she failed to do were the negative thoughts that she had formed towards others. Not words, not actions, but thoughts. Joyce said that Jesus told her that a thought has a certain measure of energy to it, and a word has even more. And an action has even more energy than that. What we think about is what we talk about, is what we end up doing. God showed her all the negative thoughts she'd had about other people. And the interesting thing is that those thoughts were deserved because some of these people were not nice people and some did some very bad things. And for her, these were simply normal thoughts and not especially malicious or undeserving at all. But God showed her that when you have a negative thought about another person, the energy from that thought actually goes out there and attaches itself to that person and has an effect, an impact. Let me give what I think is a very real example. Most major religions recognize a blessing as a prayer that brings God's favor and mercy and protection upon a person. And they believe that a blessing is more than an encouragement, that there is actually a power, a holy power connected with it that brings goodness to a person. That's why when somebody has a cold and sneezes, you might say, God bless you. You are thinking positive thoughts and hoping that God will grant the gift of health to a person who is sick. And that blessing can very well help that person to recover, even if they don't know you thought it. On the other hand, a curse is a thought or a word that seeks to harm or inflict punishment on someone. It's more than just a swear word. It's actually an invocation of evil, a malediction. And yes, there are some who actually practice this, especially practitioners of voodoo. But it's always wrong to curse someone no matter what the circumstances are. Anyway, Joyce said that, quote, the one thing that really stuck with me in my near-death experience is that of all the things I have done in my life, this is probably the hardest thing to never do again, to control my thoughts about other people. Thoughts contain energy, positive energy and negative energy, and that energy attaches itself to the person you're thinking about, and yes, can affect them in a positive way or a negative way. And that's why, according to Joyce, forgiveness is so important. She said that if you don't forgive other people, that negative energy attaches to them, and inadvertently, you contribute to the wickedness and damage that that person is. But when you forgive them, that negative energy dissipates. And so it's really important for that other person's journey and growth for you to forgive them. And then secondly, it's as important for you because the energy attaches to you and energy attracts energy. So if you're harboring all these negative thoughts about other people, even if they're deserved, you're actually just drawing more negative energy back onto yourself. It rebounds. This is life-changing information. Thoughts count. They have energy. They carry a spiritual force for good or bad. And believe me, thoughts can be louder than words or actions. So you may not realize it at the time. A driver is careless, let's say, and you feel a road rage coming on with some not so nice thoughts. But remember, when we think ill of someone, we're projecting negativity upon that person, in effect, leveling a curse upon him or her. And again, that curse may actually rebound back upon us. Hey, be safe, be well, and remember that old adage, forgive and forget. And may God bless.